Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Thumbtack Pro app. Many of you have been requesting this video and that I give a in-depth look at this app with you all, maybe before you get started, or maybe you just started using it and you want some more information on it. This is going to be a very helpful video for you in your business. I personally got started using Thumbtack back in 2020 and it's currently 2024 and it has changed drastically over the past 4 years. When I first started, there was pros and cons back then, there's new pros and cons now, and I'll be going over that with you all today. So I got started, like I said, back in 2020 using the Thumbtack Pro app for my local moving service company. Now, I wasn't really a moving company then at that point. I was more of just like a labor service, whatever you need done. I was in college, so I just, whatever, came my way, I took it. Now, Thumbtack's a great platform if you're trying to get started, using this app, trying to get some leads coming in. Maybe you have tried some door-to-door stuff, some guerrilla marketing they call it, but maybe you're just not getting any traction. This is going to be a great way to, give you that boost before, you start rocking and rolling in your business. I use Thumbtack as more of a cushion. It gives us a little bit of leads here and there, but it's not what we, completely use for our business. It's more something that we have in the background. Let's talk about Thumbtack now versus then. When I first started, biggest thing is leads were a lot cheaper. We all know inflation's crazy right now, but leads have gotten exponentially increased over the past 4 years. An average lead costs anywhere between $20 to $60 per lead. Now you have to realize that that lead is going out to multiple candidates. And let's talk about that. There's two types of leads that you can get. There's an opportunity and a direct lead. I wouldn't even waste my time with opportunities. Me personally, when I first started, I was going through opportunities where it's like the customer puts it out there in the world for anyone to see. You're messaging them, you're kind of begging for the service. A direct lead is that customer comes to you directly. It is a little bit more expensive, but it does get the job done. Booking percentage as well is a huge con. It has decreased a lot because the customer is able to select between 1 and 7 leads on their direct lead for requesting a quote. Now that can kind of turn into a lowball offer situation where people are offering the lowest amount just to get the job because, like I said, that lead costs between $20 and $60. If you're getting started out and you spend $60 on a lead, it's going to be really hard for you to stomach that and let that lead go if they're not willing to take your price. So that's why people race to the bottom a lot of times, but you have to hold strong, and that's kind of where that fight can get into with your emotions. So another point that I want to talk about is service radius. I would recommend doing a radius that is about 50 miles. It does sound like a lot, but you have to realize that sometimes in especially service-based businesses, you're going to have to drive to go get the money. I went over the opportunities, direct leads. Let's talk about ranking. Ranking is all based off of your reviews. You want to make sure you're getting accurate reviews and good reviews every single day, every time you do a job. But more importantly than that, you want to make sure that you're putting a good amount in your cost for the week. Now, what I mean by that is you can set a budget for the week of how much you want to spend for your services and how much you want to spend for people to look at your profile. If you set your budget for about $500, you're going to drop lower significantly versus someone like me who has about a $3,000 budget. I don't spend that every week, but I set it big so that my ranking increases. I've literally gone back and forth between the Pro app and the regular app, and I've seen when I've changed the budget, my ranking automatically jumps to the top or goes lower. You're really not going to get a whole lot of business if your, page number isn't first, if you're not on the first page, things like that. It's going to be a harder time for you to get, good customers. Now let's talk about disputes. If you do run into a situation where you need to dispute a charge, it's gonna be most likely that they're not gonna accept your dispute. So if you're in the position where you cannot stomach spending that kind of money, I would highly recommend staying away from it until you have about a $3,000 cushion to let that thing kind of go up and down, the money you put into it. What I mean by that is if you get a $50 lead and the customer just doesn't respond, it happens regularly, all the time. The customers won't respond. They won't respond back to your messages. They won't respond to your text or calls. Thumbtack literally gives you their phone number and their name and sometimes even the address. Now, If they don't respond and you put in there, they don't respond, yada, 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 you dispute this $50 charge, a lot of times Thumbtack is gonna say, sorry, that's not our fault, which is crazy because it kind of is, because you paid for this terrible lead. Now let's also talk about a huge con that I've been hearing across the board with other pros in the area, and that's gonna be paying for a direct booking. An automatic booking is what they call it specifically. You have to have automatic bookings turned on for your services. I don't know why, it's just kind of a money grab situation, but this is where things get really, really expensive. You can have a 2-bedroom apartment. Let's say, for example, we make between $600 to $800. Thumbtack knows that. They have smart people working there that know kind of average cost and what the percentage is that they should take. A direct booking is when a customer directly books with you, they're not looking with anyone else, and there's a locked-in date for your services. Now, where that can get crazy is Thumbtack charges between $100 to $150 for that booking. They're basically saying, hey, we booked the move for you, you owe us this money, yada, yada, yada. Well, it's like, I didn't need your help, but thank you. And obviously, you know, sometimes too, the customer not really have known what they were doing, and you can't dispute that as well. It's sometimes like, sorry, you know, go win the job. That's really what they're trying to say with that. In my opinion, you know, that should be taken away immediately. The leads are already expensive as it is, and they should know that a service-based company, they can't survive spending money on Thumbtack like that when they're only making, you know, a couple $100 on this move that's getting charged $100. Thumbtack's just winning. But they're a business, that's how they make their money, ethically or not, that's just how it goes. The last piece I want to end, with on this is making sure that you don't rely 100% on Thumbtack. I got into the situation 2 years ago where I was just relying on it. I was just throwing tons and tons of money at it. I just wanted to be busy. It's really hard when you're first starting out to hear crickets. It's really hard not to be busy. But what you need to realize is there's other ways and other avenues besides these platforms where you can get your business started off the ground. Yeah, it's hard to go out, and it's even hard for me to go out sometimes and knock on doors, go to apartment complexes, go to storage units and try to win leads. And you don't see that immediately right away. Maybe that customer may not need you for a month or two. But that's why businesses take time to grow, and Thumbtack's definitely an accelerator, but I wouldn't rely 100% on it, because at the end of the day, you don't want to build your brand around an app like I did in the past. So learn from my mistakes on that. We ranked up to about, I think, 500 reviews. We had a great profile on there. We still do have a profile on there, but there was at the point where I was like, I had to spend the money because my business was propped up on that app. And the second I stopped spending money on it, my business wasn't producing the kind of money that it was. So the whole machine, the whole system just kind of failed. But that's my recommendation for you guys. I hope this video helps. If there's anything I missed or anything I didn't go over, please ask in the comments down below. I'd be more than willing to make a part 2 on this video. I see you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe. It means a ton. Peace.